Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a video showing what I've come up with as far as an inventory system for keeping track of all my artwork and stuff. And I ended up using this in my first art show this past weekend, and it worked really well. Uh, First thing I'd like to talk about, and please excuse my squeaky floor, we're in an older house here. Um, First thing I'd like to talk about is one of the obstacles that I came up with right from the beginning was, how do I keep track of all this stuff in a way that makes sense, and I don't need like a decoder ring or something to figure out what something like 5 6 4 3 7 9 8 1 what that is, as far as in my inventory on my website, things like that. So the first thing I did was I got together all the pieces that I was going to have in the art show, and I basically came up with a coding system that is very, very easy for me to use. For example, I do these, it's alcohol ink on Yupo behind a matte cut cardstock, or die cut cardstock. And I just refer to these as butterflies. But the coding system that I came up with is basically size of the work, medium that the work is done on or in, and number. So for this butterfly, it's a 5x7 frame, so it'd be 57, B for butterfly, and then the number. So that's number 5. So this is my SKU, and this is how I track that item in the e-commerce site on my website, invoices, anything like that where I need a SKU number for that item. All of these butterflies that I make are the same price, so I haven't integrated, because I thought about putting a couple digits for the price or something like that, but I just did away with that because I know how much they are. Some other things that I do, of course, my alcohol ink tiles. These are 4-inch tiles, and they're mounted on a plaque for easy wall hanging. And for those, I just 4-inch tile, the size. Medium is a tile, but it's mounted on a plaque, in case I ever decide to sell tiles that aren't mounted on the plaque. And then the number, so 0052. And for me, I did a 4-digit number, so that way I'll have plenty, until I get to my 10,000th tile, this system will work. And I never have to worry about, some of them are 7 digits, the whole thing, different sizes or anything like that. So that's the system that I came up with. And then show you another example. I've got these small 5x7 abstract works that I do on Yupo, and it's just in the frame. And because this is on Yupo and it's 5x7, you can probably guess that it's 57 and then Y for Yupo, and then the number 57Y0018. Some works are 5x7. Now this is inks on the back of the glass. There is no Yupo in here. There's just a blank piece of paper behind this. But it's just a 5x7 abstract. So for something like this, I would do, of course, 57. Because you'll notice anything that's 57 is a 5x7, so it makes it very easy. And it's on glass, so I did 57G 0009. And then I've got bigger ones. You may remember this from my first alcohol ink YouTube video, but this is a robot, and the ink is on the back of the glass. The robot's black and white paper, and then in the background is a piece of blue holographic paper. And I've done a lot of stuff like this where it's ink on the glass and then graphic elements in the background. I don't differentiate in my item numbers between this and this in terms of medium. I still classify them as back of the glass because that's where the ink is. So for this one, it's an 8 by 10. So it would be 810 G for the back of the glass, and then whatever the number is. I think it's actually number 1. I think it was the first one I did. Now, back here, this is an 11 by 14? 11 by 14 or 11 by 17 frame. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the image itself is actually matted down to 8 by 10. So on this one, of course, it's going to start 810, just like the robot, because that's the size of the actual artwork. And then it's not a G, it's a Y, because it's done on Yupo. And then the number, 0040 or whatever it is. So that's the number system that I came up with, and I think it works really well because all of these numbers are instantly recognizable. You know, I may not remember exactly what number 9 looks like, but I know that it's a 5 by 7 work on Yupo. And I do have, like I have an 810G0001, and I also have a 57 Yupo 0001. So I don't, you know, it's not like these numbers are all unique. There is an 810G0001 and a 57 Yupo 1. I could have, you know, done it so that, well, I already have a 1 up here, so I have to start with 2, but I just thought that was too much work, too much to remember. You know, if I've only done 10 of these, I'm very happy with 1 through 10, and then also 1 through 10 on these. You know, I don't worry about differentiating because the front half differentiates. So I just wanted to share that. I know I'm rambling like crazy, but it's a lot for me to try to explain here. And then, like I said before, these numbers don't designate, like, it tells me what size, what medium, and what number, but it doesn't show me what it looks like. So I've set up a thing here in Evernote, which is a great program. It runs on every platform out there, and it syncs between all the different platforms. So I can update my inventory either on my phone, on my iPad, on my desktop, on my laptop, from anywhere in the world, and it'll sync across all those devices and everything, which nowadays is getting pretty common with software, but Evernote was one of the first ones to make that really publicly available for the average person. They've been around for years, and great company. But what I've done here is I just created a notebook called Tiles, and inside this I've got my tiles, and I've got them listed by the item number as the name of this note inside the Tiles notebook. So when I go into here, I've got a full picture of the entire work. I've got the item number up here as the name of the note, and you can also add tags and stuff. So, you know, I could tag all of these, or I could tag the ones that are sold, or, you know, however you want to organize them, you can do it through tags. And if you've never used Evernote, it's a lot like Microsoft OneNote, same kind of thing. You can grab whole web pages and throw them in here, or whatever. You can have links, all kinds of stuff. This is one of my few tiles that actually has a title, like a painting would have a title. So I've still got it listed by the number, so that if I want to sort these numerically or something like that, I can do that. But then underneath the photo in the actual note, I've got the title of the piece. Some other stuff I could put in here is the size, you know, a description of why I titled it this, what it, you know, what it reminds me of, or what inspired me to do it, or why I chose, you know, any kind of stuff like that you could, you know, throw in here, because these notes can be super long. You could also have multiple views. If you do like sculpture or something like that, where multiple views of the item are very important, you can have, you know, as many photos in here as you want of this item. So I think this is a great way to just easily keep track of all this stuff, you know, and then either during or after a show or in between customers, you know, I can pull this up on my phone if I sell something, and I could mark it as sold, just by changing the item name to maybe sold dash and then the item number or something like that, or just add sold to the end of it. But that's actually leading into the next part of this video, which is, okay, I have all these numbers, and how do I use them? Well, on the iPad there, I showed you one method, which is tying them to images. And of course, if you have these images on your actual computer, the best thing you can do is rename the images with the number, because then they're tied together permanently forever, and it'll never change. Because when you take a photo with your iPhone or whatever, you know, it'll be named something like img_0032.jpg. And I haven't found a way to rename images on an iPhone. If someone figures that out, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Leave it in the comments. Might help somebody else too. So the next thing I did, actually before the Evernote, because I don't have everything in my Evernote yet, but one thing I did do before my show was I got some Avery labels, you know, Office Depot or Staples or wherever, just Avery labels, and I just got these address labels, which are 1 by 2 5/8. It's 8160 if anybody wants to know, but you can download templates from their website for Adobe Illustrator, Microsoft Word, all kinds of stuff to be able to fill these out. So I structured mine. Let me erase this real quick. If I had done this on paper, I could just rip the sheet off, but this little whiteboard's handy. So say this is my label here. And the way I did it was I put a line here at the bottom, and then I put my name. I put the year, 2015. I put my email up here and my website. And I printed these, you know, 30 to a sheet, and then I just hand wrote on here TP 4TP 0001 0002, you know, going down like that. Then once I had them done, once I had these printed and I had them all filled out and everything, I would take off this top part here. There's these little, like, you know, instruction things and stuff. This is after it's printed out. I would take these off just to clear this area. And there's some on the bottom that I took off too, down there. But you get rid of those, and that leaves room for, I took the things after I filled them out, hand wrote all the numbers on them, and then I photocopied them, and I've got stacks of them. And the reason I removed those things up at the top is so I could write tiles, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, butterflies, stuff like that, to keep track, to have a paper version of my inventory. And I took this with me to the show, so that way, if this piece here sold, I could just check it off in between customers. It's a lot faster than going into my phone, bringing up Evernote or any other kind of inventory management software and trying to do it on the fly. It's very easy. Just go down the list. They're in numerical order. Check them off as you sell them. Labels just go on the back, and there's enough room here that I could sign it, but I've already signed it on the front, so I didn't really see a need to do it twice. Nice thing about the labels, I've got them on the backs of the frames, you know, pretty much stick them on everything. So I hope this has really helped. I wanted to share this because this is how I tried to organize everything before my first show, and hopefully it'll help someone out with their first show. So I'd love to hear any comments, other ideas that you guys have found useful. This is all done without using any kind of like accounting software. I haven't jumped into that world yet. I still have a lot of research to do before I decide on exactly what platform I'm going to use for that. So this was just a quick way for me to just keep track of everything so that, you know, when the tax man comes knocking, I'll have all the information in one form or another. Of course, I'm going to move into real accounting software, but this just let me keep track of things in a quick and dirty way. So yeah, hope that helps. Everybody have a great day and good luck with your art. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and share and like and all that stuff, and take care.